What's going on, guys? It's Groove, back with another book review, and today we have The Power of Habit. This one isn't too bad. It's not it's not my favorite book. If it's just between me and you, Atomic Habits is the one you really need. But yeah, The Power of Habit. This is also a pretty good book. So this one, when it comes to habits, this one is going to go over how habits affect your life when it comes to life and business, and how important and how powerful habits can be. It starts out talking about a story of a man who got into a pretty bad car accident, and his wife had to take care of him, and he lost his memory, but all his habits were still there. You know, when he went home and it was 6 p.m. and he was like, oh, my show is about to come on. Like, he knew his show was about to come on, but he like lost his memory. And like, that's how ingrained the habits can be, is like his habits were still ingrained even though he had lost his memory. So yeah, our habits are definitely ingrained into us, and they're really hard to change. Your habits lie in your subconscious. So when you're doing something, when you have a habit, when, if you're out with friends and I got to smoke this cigarette every time I'm out with my friends, or I don't know why I'm overeating, but then, every time you get off of work, you stop at McDonald's on the way home. You have to first become conscious that you're doing these things. It's hard to break habits, but you can insert different things in their place. Like, if every time you come home, you got to hop on the PlayStation, but you can't lose weight. Well, instead of coming home and hopping right on the PlayStation, maybe you have some workout clothes and some shoes in your car, and you can drive straight to the gym. So instead of coming home and getting right on the game, you just go right to the gym. So you get that workout in before you go home and do whatever. Because then, most people are, oh, I don't have any time. And it's just like, well, you're wasting it on the game. Or, if you come home, or if it's the weekend and you're constantly eating chips and cookies, well, why don't you replace those with, carrot sticks or celery sticks or something like that. It's really hard to break a habit. So instead of trying to break the habit of, I'm just going to stop the bad eating, I'm just going to stop that, you put something in its place instead. And that is how you will eventually break the habit. Well, you won't really break it, but you'll put something positive, something better in there instead of the bad habit, or whatever you're doing that is affecting your life. Your brain can't tell the difference between a good or a bad habit. It just is what it is. So if you're trying to quit something, understand that your brain is going to want these things, not because it wants that specific thing. If you're drinking alcohol and you're like, I can't just stop drinking alcohol, like, it's not that your brain or your body wants the alcohol. It's you've made it a habit to, whatever I'm doing, I need a drink. And when I get off of work, I need a drink. It's the weekend, I need a drink. And you should place something in the place of whatever the bad habit is, with something positive, with something good. That way the habit is still getting fulfilled by your body. And I thought that was interesting, that your mind, a lot of people are like, oh, I have a habit of drinking alcohol or smoking cigarettes after an event, or I'm doing this or I'm doing that, it's as a reward. But your body just wants the reward. It doesn't care if it's cigarettes or carrot sticks or PlayStation or gym. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your body just wants to do something, And so, you can replace your bad habits with good ones if you become aware of this, that you have a bad habit and you want to change it. You can put something more positive in its place, and that way it's easier to get rid of than just trying to stop it cold turkey. Other than that, it just goes into different stories about how, habits work when it comes to life and business and sports. And like, different athletes that have, habits before they go play games, or how coaches implement habits into their teams so they can perform better. Yeah, that's pretty much what this one deals about. It's not a terribly boring book. It just really goes over stories about habits. I'm not gonna lie. If you've read Atomic Habits, you can kind of skip this one, I'm not gonna lie. But it's still a pretty good read. Learning about, especially if you're into sports, if you're in a business, how to implement those habits within, your sports, whether you're an athlete or a coach, or if you're starting a business, or if you're a CEO. There's a lot of pretty good stories in here on how to implement different habits into your business to make it run more efficiently, or to have your team show up or do specific practices better. That's definitely what this is good for. It's more business minded than this guy down here, which is Atomic Habits. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all on that next one. Peace.